Huge steps are being taken by Ripple. FEDNOW, the U.S. Federal Reserve's fast payment system, has been in the news a lot, and many people think that Ripple's technology could be a big part of it. If this is true, it would be a big deal for XRP and could bring it one step closer to being widely used by banks. But what is FEDNOW, and why is it important for the growth of Ripple? Central Bank of the United States created FEDNOW, a real-time payment method. It lets people, companies, and banks send and receive money right away. 24/7 without the wait times that come with regular banks. It takes days for transactions to settle now, especially on weekends and holidays. This is a big improvement over the current method. FEDNOW wants to make the financial network faster and more efficient so it can keep up with the digital age. But what does Ripple have to do with this? Even though the Federal Reserve hasn't said for sure that XRP will work directly with FEDNOW, there are strong signs that Ripple's technology will help FEDNOW reach its goals. Ripple is good at quick, low-cost payments across borders, and it's ready to use cash. The ODL system already makes it possible for foreign transactions to be settled right away. Ripple solutions could help banks and other financial companies that use FEDNOW speed up transactions and cut costs. It has also been said that some Ripple partners, such as Volante Technologies, are directly involved in the creation of FEDNOW. This makes people think that Ripple's payment technology might be helping the system in a roundabout way. If FEDNOW ever uses XRP for liquidity or integrates Ripple's solutions, it would be one of the biggest establishment endorsements of Ripple's tech. The link between Ripple and FEDNOW is very important because it shows that big banks are moving toward digital transactions that happen in real time. This is exactly the problem that Ripple was created to fix. It's still not clear how involved Ripple really is, but one thing is for sure, the way the banking system works is changing, and Ripple wants to be at the center of this change. That's not all, though. Ripple is also working with the government. For example, the CFTC has started a new program to test digital assets. Could this be another step toward full acceptance from the government and wide use? We'll talk about Ripple's growing impact on the government and financial institutions in the next part. It's getting harder to ignore how Ripple is becoming more important in government and financial companies. Ripple's been trying to be the link between regular banks and the future of digital payments for a long time now. Now that big banks, financial regulators, and even central banks are working with Ripple, it's clear that the company will have a big impact on the next phase of global finance. Ripple's relationships with some of the biggest banks are one of the clearest signs that it is becoming more important. Santander, Standard Chartered, and Bank of America are just a few of the big banks that have already helped Ripple. These deals show that Ripple isn't just another cryptocurrency project. It is a business that helps the financial world with real-world problems. Ripple's technology, like its on-demand liquidity ODL service, lets businesses and banks send money quickly across borders. This cuts down on costs and improves efficiency. Ripple works with more than just private banks, though. Along with central banks, it has also talked about starting central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs. Several countries, such as those in the UK, France, and Japan, have looked into Ripple's technology as a possible base for their own digital currencies. These currencies are called Ripple dollars and things. Ripple has even made a secret ledger for banks because it lets them make and run their own CBDCs. This could make XRP an important part of digital money backed by the government in the future. Ripple's push for clear rules is another sign of its growing importance. Ripple is different from many other crypto companies because it has worked with regulators, politicians, and financial agencies to make sure that digital assets are protected by the law. Ripple has kept adding new partners even while it was in court with the SEC, showing that it is not giving up. The fact that the company can work with regulators instead of against them makes it a good candidate for widespread use. Ripple is also becoming more important in the payments business. For decades, SWIFT, the standard payment network used by banks, has been the main way that people send money to each other around the world. But blockchain-based options like Ripple are now putting SWIFT's slow and pricey system to the test. There are more financial institutions looking for faster choices, and Ripple's network is one of the most cutting-edge ones out there. All of this points to one thing. Ripple is not just making it in the banking world, it's taking the lead. Institutions, banks, and governments are starting to see how useful Ripple's technology is, and it's becoming a bigger part of the banking system. They're not done yet, though. It is now a part of the CFTC's Digital Asset Test Program, which is a big government-backed project. What does this mean for XRP and Ripple? Could this be the last step before getting full approval from the government? The next part, we'll talk about Ripple's role in the CFTC test program and what it might mean for XRP's future. The fact that Ripple is taking part in the CFTC's digital asset test program is another sign that XRP is becoming more accepted by institutions and regulators. One of the most important financial regulators in the US is the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, CFTC. Its job is to keep an eye on commodities, derivatives, and now some digital assets. So why is it so important that Ripple is a part of this program? The CFTC started the Digital Asset Pilot Program to test and create new financial technologies. The program's main goal is to find ways for digital assets to fit into the larger financial system. The goal of this program is to look into how cryptocurrency can be used in the real world, especially in ways that can make financial markets safer and more efficient. Ripple is a great choice for this project because it is known for its blockchain-based payment solutions. By working with the CFTC, Ripple gets to talk directly to the key regulators and politicians in the US who are deciding how crypto will be regulated in the future. Through this partnership, Ripple can show how its technology can make transactions faster, increase liquidity, and lower costs for businesses and banking institutions. More importantly, it makes XRP look like a real digital asset with real uses, not just another speculative coin. Also, this could be a big step toward making XRP's regulations clear. The court case with the SEC has been a source of worry for many years, but the CFTC's participation gives us a different view. The SEC has been very strict about calling mini coins securities, but the CFTC calls some digital assets. In the event that XRP is regulated by the CFTC instead of the SEC, it could give Ripple much needed legal certainty and allow more institutions to accept it. The possible effect on XRP's price is another important factor. To get more institutional buyers to join the market, Ripple's technology might need to be approved by the CFTC program. Many big investors are hesitant to put a lot of money into XRP right now because they don't know how the regulations will affect it. But if the CFTC recognizes Ripple's role in the financial markets and lays out a clear regulatory path, trust in XRP could grow, which would lead to more demand and higher prices. Ripple's participation in this scheme also shows that governments and regulators are starting to pay attention to digital assets again. Instead, they are trying and looking into how blockchain technology can work with the current banking system. Ripple wants to be at the center of this change, so it works directly with authorities instead of against them. Ripple's impact is growing faster than ever thanks to partnerships with banks, FEDNOW, and now government-backed pilot programs. What does this all mean for the future of XRP? What do you think? Will these